Fishing Misfits, first video of the year. I am at Bryan's secret location, and I'm going to be probably, if you can see, fishing the corner here all the way down. As much as shade as I can get. Sun's beating down here, so it's early in the morning. It is about 6:45, so hopefully I will be able to catch some bass. I'll get back to you. First fish on. Looks like a nice sized crappie. Using the Rapala. This is a nice sized crappie, boy. Tell you what, this is a nice sized crappie. Make sure I don't get hooked here. I'll show you this guy a little bit better. I can get the hook out. Come on. Boy, I tell you, I struggle. Alright. This is a nice crappie. So this is a catch and release only location. And so you know what happens? There's fish. People would eat this. I'm going to put it back and grow more. And I'm doing here is I'm using a Rapala because it's very calm right now. Water is very still. Almost no breeze. So I'm just using a floating, I don't know if it's a number 5, a number 7. It's not very big. It's maybe 1.5 to 2 inches tops, 2 hooks, and it's a jerk bait. You throw it out, let it sit for a second, jerk, jerk. Caught it about 10 feet away from the boat. You know what they say about crappie? If there's one crappie, there's another crappie. So I'm just fishing it fairly slow. Not going to go nuts, and you never know. So we're going to try this technique. We're going to try the Ned rig and a drop shot. But first, because the water's so still and it's early in the morning, I'm going to try top water. That's what I always. Just had a bite. I believe it was a pickerel. Big pickerels are in this water. Takes a drive to get here, but this is a nice lake. Like I said, it's catch and release. So, you know, for a lot of people, that might throw them off. But I never catch anything. I mean, I never eat anything that I catch. So this is like perfect for me. I just want to catch a few fish, 4, 5, 6, whatever. That'd be great. I don't care. And go home after about 4 hours, 5 hours. You gotta figure driving time too, so you know, definitely worth it. Pretty quiet here. It's probably because people want to keep what they want to eat everything. I don't know. I mean, there's abundant food in the supermarket. I don't get it. If this is your sport, why do you want to ruin it? It's like you're a golfer and you want to throw away all the golf balls so there's none left. I mean, how do you play? So, I mean, there may be reasons why you take a certain amount of fish, you know, especially if they're migratory or something. But, I mean, what am I going to do one crappie? After you fillet it, what do you got left? Not lots. I mean, it wasn't. That was a nice. That would have been a nice slab, but it's not worth it. I don't. When I get home, I don't want to be cleaning fish. We got enough. Just had a swirl right out there, so I'm gonna put the camera on. Maybe catch it live. I have fish finders. I have 2 fish finders on this boat, but really, I'm doing just structural type stuff, you know? Why do I put a fish finder on here for? I don't need to find that. I could be in a canoe right now or anything else. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be trying to catch the fish that are right here. I just saw another fish. I don't know what it was. It could be pickerels. It could be bluegills. I don't know. I usually work this side of the lake, and we when I come here with Bryan, especially since he showed me this lake, um, he got his personal best bass here. Had to be 4 or 5 pounds easy. It was a nice fish. Caught it on a Ned rig, and that's why I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try doing some Ned rigging. I'm not very good at it, but we're gonna give it a shot today. I think I'm going to have to go buy more jigs though. I don't have the right size jig, mushroom type jig for a Ned rig. I have, I think they're a little too heavy. Now, Bryan fishes them. He loses a lot. He loses a lot. They get snagged a lot. But you know what? He's patient enough to catch them. So that's why I have to just buy a whole bunch of cheapo hooks and just retie. Fish on. Not too big of a bass, but it's a pretty good fighter. He's fighting pretty nice, I'll tell you that. They're strong little fish here. This is using a drop shot, a minnow type bait, in classic upper jaw type hook set. I don't know why I always do everything lefty. It's weird. Why am I taking this hook out lefty? Oh, come on. I better do it. Okay, buddy. I got it. And that's a pretty decent fish, you know? Pretty nice. Okay. To be released and caught and again and again and again. That's the motto. So I'm using a shiner type floating bait, and I mean, I catch them on all kinds of stuff. I mean, worms. I like Z-Man. I like anything that. But I've been using Zoom watermelon seed lizards. I caught fish on them, and you know, I don't know if they even float. But see, I don't know if you noticed this, but this is the hook. And I'm using one of those VMC spin things, so you don't get the line twist, and it's easier to set up. I got a nice leader here, probably about 10 feet from braid. This is, I think, 8-pound fluorocarbon to the top one, and you want the hooks to be up like this. Then from here down, my leader is about, I don't know, 16 inches maybe, and I may shorten that. You know, some fish feed right off the bottom, and you may want to have like that much of a leader. Or, but I just put this one on and figured, you know what, I'll start with about 16 inches and then I'll cut it down if I have to. If I find that maybe I'm not catching fish, I'll just change it just because. And I think this is 6-pound fluorocarbon. I'd rather the line break here and I can retie or lose my weight if I get snagged. And I like these kind of weights. And I'm using the lightest ones that I have. I think it's like 1/8 of an ounce or something. Now these are from God knows where, China, so it's like 3.5. I don't know what that means, but it's the smallest one that I have. And I like these cylinder type ones. I think it gets through rocks and stuff way better than a round one or something like that. I mean, I do get snags, but you buy a whole bunch cheap and it definitely serve you. So, all right, get back to you. Fish on. Fighting pretty good. Well, that's a pretty nice fish, I think. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's a nice fish. Come on. Oh yeah. Come on. This is a pretty nice fish. Oh yeah. Let's switch hands so I can get this off of you faster. Oh yeah, this is a nice fish. That's a nice fish. I could weigh it, but I'm not. They're all going to be a lot like this, though. Good fighting fish. Really nice fish. You know? Tell you what, I'll catch those fish all day long. Don't care. Doesn't have to be a 10-pounder, that's for sure. I really don't care. I have so much time in my life to have fun. I don't want to waste it. You know, I just like to come out here and relax by myself, which I like. I don't mind going by myself. I find it relaxing. When I'm with someone, I feel like I'm the guide and got to try to make it right, and it doesn't always work out and I feel bad about it. So, you just want to hook these fish, or these baits, right in the nose, straight up. This is a last tech, so that's, I may not make it. I may have to cut that off, but I'm going to cut it off. That's not so easy to do. Alright, I'll get back to you. Figured I'd go over how I'm fishing this, the equipment that I'm using, and maybe that might help somebody if they like this idea. First off, I have a Minn Kota Tarova without a foot pedal. I don't think you really need it. I use the remote control type device hanging from my neck. I have it on spot lock. It does a pretty good job. I mean, it's a little noisy, but as long as it's working good, I have to say it's one of the best things that I've ever bought. You could set a course, like say a heading, to go from one point of the lake to the next point of the lake, A to B, straight line. It pretty much will keep you on that straight line, setting that course. Obviously, there's wind involved and all kinds of current or whatever, so it may fight that a little bit, but it pretty much gets you across the lake where you're going. You could set a course, like if you wanted to fish this whole fishing thing, you could set your boat down there, set a course for down there, and put it on half of a mile per hour, I don't know if it's miles per hour, but they have speed on here. It goes in half increments. So it's 0.5, then 1, then 1.5. So you could put it on real slow, as long as it's calm and the wind's not blowing. You can just meander down the lake on a course, fishing the banks. You don't have to use your feet and worry about where you're going. Pretty much keeps you where you're going, as long as you don't run into anything. So I like that part. And on 10, on this 16.5 foot deep V aluminum boat with the motor and all the weight that's on here, okay, I have 4 batteries. I mean, that's a lot of weight. I still can go over 2 miles an hour. And when you are, you know, using dipsy divers or you're trolling, you really don't want to go too fast. You might want to go 1 to 2 miles an hour tops a lot of times. So it's enough that you can set a course when you're trolling, and you can, and using your depth finder, you might be able to figure out, where the fish are, whatever. And it's enough to drag this boat at the right speed without using a kicker motor, you know. And it works pretty good. And I have 2 batteries. I think they're 29s, size 29, and I have them running, I think, in parallel, which means I'm running, basically, I have 2 batteries on this one, on this Tarova. There should be enough juice. I haven't had any problems so far, and I really like it. So that's one thing that I think everyone, if you can afford it, just buy the motor. This is a 55-pound thrust, by the way. So it's not like a heavy-duty 80-pound thrust where you need to run them in series or 36 volts or any of that stuff. It's just a regular 12-volt, 55-pound thrust Tarova that I don't have the foot pedals. You could hook it up if you wanted to, but it's senseless. It's really senseless. I don't understand why you'd even want it on the deck. Just get in the way. So I'd get one of these now. When I bought it, like 2 years ago, it was kind of during the pandemic. So I bought it for $1,100. I thought that was a steal because now they're up there more. So, but I'm using a Veritas PLX Abu Garcia 7-foot one-piece rod. This is a fast medium, so it's a medium with a fast tip. I'm also using a Cast King. I think it's a 2500 Sharky reel, and this thing can cast. Even with, I don't have much weight here, and I can just fling it out there. It goes. Okay, it's not like a struggle. I'm going to hold the rod tip about 10 o'clock. Okay, when the bait hits the ground and it's settled, I don't do anything. Just wait around a little bit. This whole thing is set up for lazy fishermen. People that don't like to do a lot of casting and a lot of, just might have had a hit. With this rod, it's very sensitive. You could feel the pickups. And that's the important part about this rod. Was over $100. But it's not the most expensive. But it's sensitive. So you can feel the pickups. So what I'll do is, oh, I thought I had a hit there. So I just go from 10 o'clock to like 11 o'clock. I pick it up, the weight's dragging, and then I reel down my slack. So say from 10 o'clock to 11:30 on the clock face, and then I reel down the slack, and you're just hanging loose. You're not doing anything. You're letting the current in the lake move the bait, shimmy it around. Sometimes you can bounce it a little bit if you want to, but a lot of times I'm not doing anything and I'm getting hits. It just picks it up. It's almost like live bait, which is, I think, the whole reason this works. So you just pick it up and you reel down the slack. And you just bring it into the boat. And when, you don't go nuts. You don't fish it for an hour. You just kind of like, you're moving around a little bit. And that's how I catch fish. Works. I use the spin hook. I use braid with fluorocarbon leader, like about 10 feet, I guess, something like that. I use the uni knot to tie them together. It's not that hard to do. To me, I tried the FG. I couldn't do it. I figured, oh God. So the uni knot I can do, and I can even do it out here on the boat. One of the reasons why I like 10 feet or so is because if you do break off, you don't have to retie the whole leader. You can do, and you like to use fluorocarbon anyway because the braid is, but you can cast with braid. You don't get all that snarled line on the reel like a big rat's nest. That doesn't ever happen with braid. So you just put on enough fluorocarbon, like I said, about 10 feet to hide the bait, and it's clear underwater. And then from the bottom part of the hook, I do 6 pounds, something a little bit lighter than the main fluorocarbon, which is 8 pound. I think I'm using pretty good stuff. I think it's called Sniper XL or something. But if you don't get anything for a while, then you just pick it in, you know. So, and sometimes, like if I am pounding the banks, I look behind the boat and I go, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna cast behind the boat. You just throw it back there. You never know. It's probably deeper water there, but you just throw it around someplace different. Sometimes it works. You catch fish on the opposite side of where you think you should be doing it. You never overlook the, the obvious. So, all right, so that's what I'm doing out here, and I'm the only guy here. I'm the only one. So it's Friday morning. I don't work Fridays. Maybe that's a reason. Maybe there's a lot of people here. God knows what they're doing. I guess fishing or kayaking or whatever. But it's kind of like a private lake. I'm glad Bryan showed it to me. I mean, it's a drive to get here. It's not my neighborhood, but it's definitely worth it. I think there's like a dirt road to get in here too. So it's not convenient. It's not like, okay, I got a fish on, but I don't know how I somehow screwed up my camera. So what I did was change weights. Changed weights to a heavier weight. I've got a breeze came up, and I have a feeling I couldn't feel anything, so a little bit smaller than the other two, but not bad. Good fight. Let's see if I can fix my camera now. I don't know what I did with this camera. Let me get it back to where it was. I'm sitting here in this water when the breeze ain't up. Is so crystal clear. I saw below the boat. I guess they're kind of mingling around the boat. I see fish all around me. I've seen, it looks like bluegill, smaller bass. I saw a perch. I mean, you can see the stripes on the fish. That's how clear the water is. It's crazy. So, no sense in me moving around much. I'm just kind of staying right here. You can see there's a big flat of stones and mud and sand. And now it goes down, it comes down, and I'm sitting right in this deeper part. But you can see fish all around me. And so I'm fishing in deeper water off of the ledge. I don't know if you can see some of this stuff, but there's fish around me. So I'm not going to move around too much. I'll just hang out loose and... Oh no, I have a fish on. I have a fish on, I think. Wow. This thing has some girth to it, man. Ooh, he's taking, I better tighten it up a little. Ooh, he's pulling. This is really a pretty decent fish, I think, or he's really... Let's see what it is. Oh man, I might be a big bass. Oh boy, it's a big bass. It's a nice one. He's really pretty strong here. Holy cow, that's a nice bass. That's a nice bass. Right there, buddy. That's a nice fish. Let's get the hook out of him. Take a look at him. That's a nice one. I'm using these, still using the drop shot. I just got a lot of confidence in it. It slowed down a little bit. Made it even worse for me. But this is a nice fish. That's a nice one. That's a nice fish right there, man. Alright, let it go back. That's a nice fish. That's a nice one. Well, I even lost the drop weight on that one. I just tied it on and it either broke or something. I don't know where exactly this was, but see, I'm trying to fish a little deeper. I tried shallower, and now I'm going deeper with a heavier weight. And I think I caught two fish. As soon as I changed from like a 1/8 to 3/16, I caught two fish. So for some reason it's either I couldn't feel it because it's a little breezy out here today, and it's either that or something, I don't know. But you know, that's what the whole part about drop shots are. Sometimes you change baits. You know, I'm using this one. It's forget who makes this, but I don't think it's a Z-Man, but it is Elastec. It's got some Elastec in it, and it's a very small cylinder. I see like minnows and stuff swimming around with this color, and so I'm like, you know what, try it. So far I caught two fish on this with a heavier weight. So there you go. Fish on. I just changed lures to one of those Zoom watermelon seed finesse worms. Damn, I'll tell you what, for cheap stuff, that's pretty good. This is a nice fish too. This place has got nice fish, I have to be honest. This is really a nice place. Nice fish. Real nice fish. Good hook set right on top. And you know what? I don't know if this fish has ever been caught before. It doesn't even look it. Look at that. Nice, healthy. I don't know how big they are, but thank God for that catch and release. Thank God. Okay, buddy, go back. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Catch and release. It's a lot nicer. Fish on. This one's pulling pretty good too. Hasn't breached yet. Good fish. Good fish. Oh, now it's starting to really... See, these fish fight, man. Look at pulling drag out. What is this? Oh, this is a pickerel. This is a pickerel. Shit. I don't even... They fight, these effing pickerel fight. Okay, calm down. You're gonna... Don't worry, I don't want you. Just don't take my hook. Let me see if I can get out of here without even touching the sucker. You don't learn. You don't learn. There, we got rid of him. Oh, he took my worm now. That's alright. One thing about those Zoom baits, they give you a lot of them for the price. Boy, I'll tell you what. I first got here, it wasn't bad. Then I got a little slow, changed a little bit of tactics. You know, I went from shallow to deep. I got some messed up stuff going on here. Yeah, I got to retie. But I changed tactics, and they're starting to bite, and or maybe the water temperature rose. I mean, it's a blue sky, and it's not warm. It's only probably in the 60s, but maybe the water temperature turned up a hair, and I put them in a feeding frenzy. I don't know, but all of a sudden, almost every cast I'm catching a fish. It's crazy. Love this place. I'm never telling anyone about this, and I don't give a crap who I offend, but you know, Bryan turned me on to this place. That's why it's Bryan's Lake, and I'll bring Matthew here and my grandchildren if they want to, and other than that, I ain't saying a word. Sorry if I offend everybody that likes me. Don't care, but don't want to ruin it. Sorry, I can't do it. All right, bye. I think I got a fish on. At first I wasn't even sure. Oh yeah, I do have a fish now. I think it knows it's being caught. Oh yeah. Look at that, pulling some drag out. Fish fight here, man. Fish fight. They ain't no slouches. Nice, another nice bass. See, it's like a golf course pond, you know? It's like a golf course pond. You know why it's a golf course pond? Because it's catch and release. The state should impose this shit all over the place. Look at another nice fish. It's not as big as the last one, but I didn't even know I had them. Now this is the bait I'm using. Zoom. I believe it's watermelon seed. It's like a greenish color with black flakes. It's flat on the bottom. It has a little. It's a finesse worm. And tell you what, I even caught a bluegill last time on something like this. I like the Zoom. I guess what are they? Salamanders in this color. There's a little bit more appendages on them, you know. Tell you what, can't beat it. Fish on. Move to the other side of the lake. Pretty nice one. Pretty nice fish. Pretty nice fish. Going under the boat. Oh, this is a nice fish. Oh, that's a nice fish. a nice fish right here. This is a really nice fish right here. That's a nice one right there. That is a nice fish. Once again on that watermelon speck zoom finesse worm. That's a nice fish. That's got to be a couple pounds.